Hey, Tekikki and Simone, it's so nice to meet you two on Zoom and talk about this project we've embarked on.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thank you.
So I just want to ask a few questions about this process. It's our first time doing anything on long distance art, so there's a ton of learning that's been going on. Tekikki, I'll start with you. What kind of crossed your mind when you got that email asking if you'd be interested in trying this experiment out?
Oh, I was excited and kind of nervous a little bit, but definitely excited just to hear that, Simone was also interested in working together because I saw her work maybe like a week or so after checking the website, and I was like, oh my God, her work is so dope. Like the colors and the patterns that she uses and the context is just like so amazing. And definitely along the lines of like who I would want to like collaborate with. So I was just super grateful and just excited. So
Yeah, it was kind of a magical matchmaking because I kind of reached out to both of you and both of you were like, I like this artist. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Perfect.
Simone, how about you? What did you think or what went through your head when you were asked about doing this project?
You know what? It's the same as Tekikki. I was a little bit nervous because I haven't done a lot of like visual art collaborations, and because we're in two different countries, it was really interested to see how we would navigate that collaboration. And
Yeah.
I think more than anything, I was super nervous when we first had our Zoom meeting, and it was just kind of an introduction. And like, I love Tekikki's work. It's so vibrant, it's super powerful. And I was really excited to see where we were going to take this project.
So like it sounds almost like a little first date, first Zoom meeting,
Yeah.
feeling like butterfly. What was that first meeting like, Tekikki? What did you
Um,
talk about and how did you get started?
it was kind of like the same thing. I was like, I'm naturally shy, naturally very introverted. And so like Simone, this is kind of one of the first projects that I've collaborated with another artist. But it was just like, we were just kind of like vibing, like talking about similar experiences or similar like contexts in our work. And I was like, okay, yeah, boom, I'm ready to do this. Like I'm here, like I'm ready to just like say what I need to say. And Simone and I were just like vibing off of that, kind of like feeling it. It was great.
And so what did you come up with?
Well, we both came up with some really cool stuff. Basically, I came up with like a digital art piece, kind of like talking about, or more so in a response to the Washington Post article about two African American men who went into Walmart, and basically they were being harassed by, a police officer in Illinois. And so one particular individual also highlighted that he basically, wore a mask. And so he had to wear like these masks in different colors to seem like less menacing. I guess dealing with, the issues of feeling like he would be profiled or harassed because of his, race and culture and things like that. And so the work that we were just trying to come up with that is just kind of a response into that article itself.
And Simone, you were mentioning that you kind of started in one direction and ended up going in a different one. So talk about that.
Yeah, that was strictly due to my nerves and like the time frame, because you can see my frame behind me. It's quite large. It's 70 inches by 70 inches. And all of the work that I've done thus far have filled that frame. And so I was like, I do not have 40 hours to complete one piece of work. And so I started with a drawing, which
Yeah.
kind of brought me back to my roots. And I really enjoyed like composing the piece. And then we got a bit of an extension, and I said, okay, Tekikki, I think I'm going to do a second piece. And then I did a complete 360. I hope I didn't like shake things up too much, but I was just like, I really want to showcase my fiber art. I'm graduating as a fiber major, and that's really what I want to put forward. So I really put my nose to the pavement and put out these two pieces.
I love how you talk about getting an extension like I'm some tough boss or something.
We're like, Nick, when's the deadline?
I,
Out,
I, I quite purposefully early on said, let's not make this one of those collaborations that is drawn out for 6 months, because that's
Yeah.
such a trap you can fall into where you overthink things and your once relevant work becomes sort of less and less relevant the more you kind of let it like sit and spread out, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like, let's make some art.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, if I can add on to that, I think that is what is so impactful about this project is that there was like a 2-week turnaround, and you talk about sitting there, and that's exactly what this pandemic has really resulted in a lot of us doing, is being kind of isolated within our home. And so to have this rigor and to like really have this connection with Tekikki, and although we did 2 separate pieces, we were working in tandem, and there was like a real interconnectedness of being online with someone who was exploring the same subject. And it was really invigorating for me to like sit down every day and do this project, because I knew someone had my back and was working on something just as powerful. So it was inspiring.
Yeah. I would have to say the same things, that it was just a really great experience for, how we were both expressing, like we were nervous of like showing each other's like works and stuff like that. But like what you said, like having each other's back of, okay, Simone, like I'm not really too sure about this, or you're like, Tekikki, I'm not too sure about this. It felt really good to have like a sense of like support and sense of like urgency to respond to something that's so powerful and something that's so impactful this time. So I agree.
Were there any surprises or things that you already knew and confirmed about working across long distance? I mean, you two maybe both say where you are right now.
Sure.
I'm in Calgary in Canada.
I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio, and Calgary. So that's a fair distance apart in different countries. Did you learn anything or confirm anything about, collaborating across long distances?
I mean, I think for me it was a big surprise, because having seen Tekikki's work, and for myself being an artist of color, and really bonding over that, and bonding over like this narrative that we both have about women's bodies and social justice. And so the collaboration on the mask article itself wasn't anything that I had in my mind, but something that Tekikki had already like read a few days before. And we were also inspired by a Maya Angelou poem called "We Wear the Mask." So there was a really neat exchange that stemmed from that one article, where we just continued to share these resources with each other. So it was constantly like just building blocks onto this really great nugget of a source that Tekikki had found.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know, I think of art as this really cool tool to be able to weave different narratives and stories and experiences. And I think that transcends, rather than just being somewhere in a physical space. I think so much of like our connection now in this time during the pandemic is, you have to rely on like technology a lot. And so having like the chance to like communicate through Zoom or work on a project like such as this is really cool and really like eye-opening. And it's really sobering in a way. But yeah, just like, talking about similar experiences of being like a woman of color and dealing with like various issues of systemic oppression and, prejudice and all of these experiences. It's a really cool thing to be able to respond to during this time.
Ugh, I love talking to artists. Well, thank you both so much for saying yes to this project, especially so early on when you can't have the benefit of looking at what other people have done. And like it took a lot to throw yourself into it and give your time, and also sort of gift everyone with your incredible talent. So I'm really excited to exhibit your work, and I just want to say thank you so much for doing it.
Well, I also want to say thank you to you, because like you're the one orchestrating this and curating this, and it's really special, like on this international scale, to see artists come together within this pandemic, because it's, it knows no color or creed, and it's affecting everyone. So to be
Yeah.
able to meet Tekikki and work with her. Like, I think we've really formed a friendship, and I think that you're to thank for that, Nick. So thanks.
Yeah. Likewise, Nick, I just wanted to say I appreciate you. This is a dope opportunity. I truly think this is something that's historical. You know, like anytime art and technology or just like people come together, I think that's like what is, you know, the building blocks of community. So, you know, I'm just really grateful and really grateful having the opportunity to meet Simone and just be inspired by her work and her, you know, experiences. And so just having the chance to also express myself, and yeah, so I'm thankful.
It's so totally my pleasure. I can't tell you how much you've just made every moment of working on this site worth it by saying that stuff. So, oh, love it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you both so much, and it's been really good talking.
Same.
Thank you.